Welcome in, my fellow fitness enthusiasts, to today's instructional fitness video. I gotta tell you guys, I'm so excited to bring this video to you because the equipment that I'm gonna show you today, the piece of equipment that I'm gonna teach to you, I think is one of the most practical, versatile, and intelligent pieces of equipment I have ever come across in any fitness center. I'm super stoked about this. What I'm talking about today is the TRX. If you're not familiar with the TRX, stick around. You're gonna learn some great stuff. Whether you are a total beginner or an elite athlete, this is going to be a piece of equipment that can apply to you and help you become more fit. Let me introduce myself to you. My name is Tyler Marin. I am owner of Revision Training, LLC, where our project is to bring fitness to you in an accessible format. Whether you're sighted or visually impaired, we want to make fitness a part of your life. So if this is the first time you've seen one of my videos, if you have full vision, you should be able to see everything I have going on here. I'm going to demonstrate everything today. If you are visually impaired, don't worry about it. Stick with me. I'm visually impaired as well. I'm going to describe everything that I'm doing. Three-time Paralympic athlete, personal trainer, motivational speaker. So I am well experienced with this stuff and just super excited to bring this information to you. So let's talk about the TRX. What in the world is TRX? What is its history? How does it work? And what do we want to do with it? So TRX stands for Total Resistance Exercise. Literally, the TRX is a set of straps with a few handles at the end, okay? Very, very compact, very easy to travel with, super light. If you can find an anchor, something up high, a swing set, I have it hooked over a pull-up bar right now on a squat rack, any type of sturdy anchor. If you can set up a TRX, you have access to over 300 exercises that can be done with these couple of straps alone. The TRX was invented by some Navy SEALs who were out in the field. They didn't have access to good equipment. They needed to stay in good shape. So they came up with this design, actually originally a judo belt that was in one of their backpacks. They tied a knot in it, slung it over a door, closed the door, and started pulling up on this strap. And then they were like, wow, we're actually getting a good workout from this. They kind of tweaked it and designed it and turned it into what it is today, okay? So some of the benefits, let's talk about that first. Then we're gonna go through the structure and how you set up the exercise equipment, how you set up the TRX. And then I'm gonna demonstrate some really cool exercises that you guys can mix into your routine, okay? Most every fitness center is gonna have these. The benefits of them, again, they don't take up a lot of space. As long as you have something to hang them from, you can get 6 or 7 TRXs in a row. You can get a full body workout just in this one station. So very visually impaired friendly. You don't have to bounce all over the gym from machine to machine. You can get an entire workout right here. Very good for beginners, very good for elite athletes. There's exercises that you can do with these TRX straps that are gonna help make your movements easier. There's exercises and positions you can set up in that are gonna make your exercises much, much tougher. Okay, so we're gonna talk about that. Another benefit to using the TRX straps is that you are going to be able to practice maneuvers you might not be able to do otherwise. Okay, so we're gonna talk about that as we get into it. So there's really very, very few drawbacks to working with a TRX. They're excellent, excellent pieces of equipment. So much good to be said about them. I hope you guys are getting the idea that I really like these. So now that you know a little bit about the history of them, a little bit about the benefits, let's talk about the structure. What in the world are these things? Let me describe them to you. First, let me click my centers here. Bop. And I'm back. So the structure of the TRX, I'm about 6 feet tall. I've got these TRX bands strapped right now up around a pull-up bar that's probably about 8 feet off the ground here. So pretty high above my head, maybe 9 feet. It's up there a little ways. They don't have any stretch. Okay, so step number one, a lot of people think TRX, it's a long strap with handles, kind of like a resistance band, right? No, the difference between the resistance bands and TRX straps, these are fabric straps. They do not stretch. They're made to be very sturdy and strong. No matter what your weight is, these are gonna hold your weight, okay? So if you're a heavier person, like, I don't know if I trust those things. As long as your anchor is steady, these straps will not tear. They're very, very, very strong. So all the way up at the top, we have our anchor point. That's where it's wrapped around the bar. There's several clips and settings that you can move this up and down. So as you move from top to bottom, the next thing you're gonna find is what's called the pivot point. Okay, so this is literally just two fabric loops that are interconnected. Why do we have this pivot point? So I'm gonna take the straps in front of me. There's two straps that hang down from that pivot point that lead all the way down to the bottom, handles at the bottom with an extra strap loop underneath the handles. I'll talk to you about that. But I'm gonna take the straps in each hand, I'm gonna slide my left hand down and my right hand up, and then I'm gonna slide my right hand down, my left hand up. I'm literally not shifting my grip on the straps, but I can slide one up and then the other down. This is the pivot point. This is why the pivot point is set. So that when you get back into an exercise, you can literally just shift your hands left and right to make the straps equal, okay? So the pivot point, super important. We'll talk about that as we line up in your exercise. And then it's just a solid strap straight down to the buckle, okay? The buckle is where we're gonna adjust the straps. There's 4 different positions that you're gonna be able to set up with these TRX straps. Now there's a couple different designs you're gonna find. So if you're going to your fitness center or you bought some TRX straps online, you're gonna see primarily 2 different types of buckles. Both of them essentially are the same function where when closed, they're gonna hold the strap in place. So I'm holding the middle of the strap and I'm holding one handle. I'm gonna pull this as hard as I can. It won't slide open, okay? This is the end of the strap. The buckle is closed. It's not going further out. So if I'm putting my weight on this handle, the teeth of the buckle are gonna grip into the strap and they're not gonna slide open any farther. So to be able to adjust this, I have the buckle in my left hand and I've got the free end of the strap, there's this little kind of tab here, in my right hand. This particular buckle is a squeeze clip, okay? So it's got this section, it kind of pivots. If you press your thumb into this clip, it opens up the teeth here. You can actually feel it with your finger. It's got these sharp little edges that dig into the fabric. It opens up the teeth, and then I can take this tab and I can pull this tab up to shorten the strap. So now the strap, the handle, instead of hanging down kind of at my calves, I've pulled it up to my waist level, okay? And you wanna do that on both sides. So both have their left and right have independent buckles, okay? So this is the squeeze grip. I'm gonna press my thumb into it and pull the tab up. Now there's another kind out there that's kind of common. The other kind of buckle that you're gonna find is not a squeeze, it's a flip, okay? So what you'll do is when that buckle is vertical, when it's straight up and down, that's when, again, it kind of pinches the strap and it won't allow the strap to slide through the buckle. But if you turn it so that it's horizontal, it's flat to the floor, then the strap can move freely through that buckle. So you flip it from vertical to horizontal, and then again, you can slide this strap up and down on the TRX. You can shorten it and lengthen it. That's all it is, okay? The adjustment is just about shortening or lengthening the TRX depending on how tall you are, depending on what exercise you're trying to do. There's variations on how you set that up, okay? So once you're comfortable with the position that you have for the height of these, right? That's when you can use the pivot point to adjust. So right now I've got the buckles set at the same level, but if I wanted to step back and do an exercise, so like right now my right hand's a little more forward than my left, I can just kind of adjust it on that pivot point. Now they're even. Okay, so that's why we want to use the pivot point. 4 positions, okay? Position 1 is where I've got the strap pulled all the way up to the top, okay? So I can't pull this strap up any higher using the actual tab. Position 2, okay? I'm gonna pull it down halfway, okay? So there is half layer of the strap. So if I go up from the buckle, it's like the strap is overlapped halfway, and then it's just by itself a single strap all the way up to the pivot point. And then position 3 is if I extend it all the way out. I can't extend it any farther. That's position 3 is the lowest position. So position 1 is all the way up, position 2 halfway down, position 3 all the way down. Now there's one more position known as elephant ears. So bring it all the way up to the top. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to grab the strap, the free portion of the strap, not up here at the tab, but kind of in the middle of it, and I'm gonna keep pulling it up until the buckle is almost all the way up to the pivot point. So it's pulled up really high, and then you get this kind of extra flap of strap out here. It kind of looks like elephant ears, I guess is where that comes from. So now the handles are about at my shoulder level. They're up pretty high, okay? So the 4 different positions, I talked you through how to extend and shorten the buckles. All it really ends up being is how high are the handles on your body. All the way up at the top, the elephant ears, okay? The handles are gonna be up here at about chest level, okay? The common position, position 1, the straps are gonna be somewhere around your belly level, okay? Belly level, hip level. Position 2, where it's halfway down the strap, you're talking about thigh or knee level-ish, a little above knee level. And then all the way at the bottom, where the handles are about your calf level, okay? So you're moving the handles to a higher or lower position depending on which exercise you're doing. So that's how we set up the TRX. It takes a little practice, guys, so don't get frustrated with it. If you get over to, you're like fiddling around with it, like, oh my gosh, how do I move this thing? That's it, I give up. Like, don't get frustrated with it. Take your time with it, because once you learn how to do this, it's such a fun piece of equipment. It's so versatile, so useful. So take your time with it, practice it. Don't be afraid to fiddle around, ask some questions. More than happy to answer some of your questions on this video as well. So be sure to like and comment and share so that we can get this information out there. Okay, so enough is enough. How do we use the blasted thing, right? So we figured out how to set this thing up. I'm gonna take you through about 10 exercises or so. I'm gonna show you real quickly how you would set them up, some of the benefits of them, a few basic exercises and beginner ones. Like I said, there's over 300 exercises that you can do with this thing. It's really, really cool. So I'm gonna start off in position 1. So I'm gonna squeeze the buckle with this is the left one, I believe. I'm gonna slide it all the way so that the tab is up towards the pivot point. So the straps are totally doubled up. Now, right now, the handles are somewhere around my belly level. This is right up like at my belly button. This is position 1. So let me show you 3 pull exercises. These are gonna be exercises for your bicep, your back, and your shoulders. Now, a key point with the TRX straps, here's something to always keep in mind. No matter what exercise you're doing, no matter what level you have it set on, no matter if you're a beginner or advanced, the TRX straps must always be tight, okay? If I'm doing an exercise and the straps are kind of flopping around like this, then I'm not using them correctly, right? They're kind of waving. If the breeze picked up, they'd be flapping the straps all over. I need to lean back into them and make them tight the whole time. If these straps are not tight, you're not doing the exercise correctly. Whatever movement you're doing, they always have to be tight. All right, so the first exercise I'm gonna show you is a TRX row. This is a bit more of a beginner movement. It can be made more advanced. I'll show you some of the modifications, but I love showing this exercise to my very, very beginners, people who are a little bit nervous about exercise, because this is such a basic movement, but very, very profound. So I'm stepping away from the anchor point. So during this whole instruction, I've been standing kind of right underneath the pull-up bar. The straps are straight down towards the ground. Now, most of the time when you do these exercises, you're gonna be stepping away from the anchor point. I'm looking at the straps right now, I'm facing towards them, but I'm probably standing about 5 feet away from the pull-up bar now. I've stepped back and I'm pulling on the straps. The straps are out at an angle now from the pull-up bar. I've got my elbows at my side, my palms facing towards each other, and my hands are about chest level. Okay, so my elbows are a little bit lower than my hands. I'm gonna step my feet forward, okay? So my feet are no longer underneath my shoulders. I'm leaning back into the straps. I'm looking up at the anchor point. This is really important. I don't wanna look down at my feet. I wanna look up at the anchor point. I'm leaning back and I'm putting my weight on these straps now. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna straighten my arms. I'm gonna lower myself back towards the ground, okay? So now my arms are straight. I'm leaning back. I'm still way off the ground, guys. I'm not saying I'm coming all the way down, but I'm leaning back. My arms are straight. I'm gonna squeeze my shoulder blades together and pull myself back up to the straps. I'm gonna lean back and then pull myself back up on the straps. So the whole time here, I'm leaning back, my feet are out in front of me, my knees are straight, my back is straight, and I'm working the muscles in my shoulders, my arms, my biceps, in my core and my hips. That's why TRX is so fantastic, because I'm working so many muscles in one movement, right? You can go nice and slow and controlled. You can do a little power movement where you lower yourself down slow and then kind of pop back up. Lower yourself down slow and then pop back up. So there's a lot of variety that you can do with this. Something really simple that you can do that's really, really helpful. Okay, so I'm here, you know, I'm in pretty decent shape. I'm doing these rows like, I mean, this is okay. This isn't super challenging. For some of you, it might be like, wow, this is really tough, and that's okay. To change the tension level on the TRX, it's so blasted simple. Here, okay? Instead of my feet being here, I'm gonna walk my feet forward. Okay, so I'm leaning further back now. I'm closer to the ground now than I was before. I'm more flat instead of vertical. This is gonna be much tougher. Gravity can pull on me a lot harder doing this exercise the further out I get my feet. You can come right under the bar, right? I can be all the way down here where I'm almost pointing my chest straight up towards the ceiling doing this row movement. Very versatile, extremely, extremely beneficial for overall strength, okay? Exercise number 1. Now here's the next one. This one, and whatever exercise you're doing, that will determine where your foot position is. Because this next one, I can't get that far under the bar and do this next exercise. It's too hard, okay? Because I'm gonna do a reverse fly. So instead of my arms being kind of here at my sides in my starting position, my elbows at my sides, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna step back. I'm gonna stay pretty tall on this one, okay? I'm not gonna put my feet way, way, way out in front of me. I'm gonna stay up pretty tall. My feet are probably a 1.5 feet in front of where my shoulder position is. I'm still leaned back, okay? And now what I'm gonna do, keeping my elbows almost completely straight, I'm gonna open my arms up as I pull myself up to my standing position and then lean back. I'm gonna adjust my position just a little bit here so I can get more of a wider pull. I'm opening my arms up to stand up and then leaning back. So my elbows stay straight. My palms are about 6 inches from each other. I'm leaning back into the straps. I'm looking up at the anchor point. My hips are up and forward. That's another thing. When you do this, we're not dropping your buttocks back and down. You're lifting your buttocks up. Okay, straight line from your heels through your hips to your shoulders. Open your arms up to the side. Open your arms out to the side to pull yourselves up. So this is gonna work the muscles in your back and your shoulders as you do this position. Now you can lengthen the straps to get, I got kind of long arms. So you can lengthen the straps to do that movement, to do that reverse T pull. Last one I'm gonna show you with the TRX straps at position 1, a bicep curl. Yes, you can do a bicep curl on the TRX straps, and they are killer. They're so much fun. Okay, so I'm gonna get almost in the same position I did with the TRX row. So I'm facing towards the anchor. I've stepped back, right? So again, tension. There's always tension on the TRX, okay? Always tension on the straps. This time I'm gonna turn my palms so they're up towards the ceiling. I still got my elbows at my side. I'm kind of getting you into the ready position. Turn my palms up towards the ceiling, okay? I'm going to put my elbows up on a shelf. So imagine there's a shelf in front of you. You're trying to put your elbows up on that shelf. My fists now are up by my temples, like my pinkies are right next to my temples, just above my ears, and my elbows are kind of pointed up in front of me. My head is up, I'm leaning back just slightly. Now what I'm gonna do is just straighten my arms as I lean back. My elbows stay up high, straightening my arms out, okay? So my arms are fully extended now, my weight's in my heels, my palms are facing up towards the ceiling, and now keeping my elbows up, I'm gonna bend my elbows again and pull my fists towards my temples, pinkies to your temples. Lean back and pull up on the straps. Lean back, pull up on the straps. And boy, oh boy, will you feel this in your biceps. Again, your hips, your shoulders, your knees, none of that is moving. I'm not sitting back and like plopping my buttocks back into a chair. Keep your hips up. Your whole body is a still statue as you lean back on your heels, and then bend the elbows and pull your fists to your temples. These types of movements are so profound. You're getting your biceps in, but you're getting your core, your back, your buttocks, your legs, everything mixed in. Next one, let's go ahead and move this down now to position 2. So we're bringing this down to somewhere around mid-thigh level, maybe a little bit lower. It kind of depends again on how tall you are, where the anchor point is, but I've got the handles somewhere around my mid-thigh, just a little bit lower. I'm gonna turn this time. So instead of looking towards the anchor point, now I'm facing away from it. My back is to the pull-up bar. I've got the TRX straps, the handles in my hands. I've got the TRX straps kind of draped over my shoulders. So the straps right now are kind of running along the outside of my arms, from my fists up to my shoulders and then back up over my head towards the anchor point, okay? So literally just standing in between the straps facing away from the anchor point. I'm gonna show you a TRX push-up. Now these things are crazy good for you. Again, depending on where your foot position is will make it a lot tougher. So here, let me show you how this works. I am going to stand up pretty tall, okay? Right now, I've got my feet right underneath my shoulders, head is up high. Again, I've got the straps kind of just resting on the outside of my arms. I've got my handles, my palms facing behind me, my knuckles kind of pointed towards the floor in front of me. I'm going to step my feet back just slightly. I'm not gonna go real far because these TRX push-ups are no joke. I'm up on the balls of my feet, okay? I'm gonna raise my hands up just slightly so the straps are just a few inches above my shoulders, and my hands are a bit wider than my chest. My hands are still kind of pointed down towards the floor in front of me. So I don't have them pointed towards the wall in front of me because that brings the straps way up over my shoulders. I've got them pointed at the floor in front of me so that the straps are gonna be just an inch or two above my shoulders. And now here, point your knuckles towards the floor. As you bend your elbows, lower your chest down towards the floor in front of you, and then push back up again. Now the awesome thing about doing these TRX push-ups, and you can even see just like as I come down, my hands and arms kind of shaking around a little bit, is because there's no stability here. It's all the muscles in my shoulders and chest that have to stabilize for me. If I'm doing push-ups with my hands on the ground's not shifting underneath me, but these straps are gonna move all over the place, and it creates so much tension in your chest, your shoulders, your triceps, a lot of those little stabilizer muscles. Very, very good for you. And again, a little shift, if I push my feet back just a little bit and come a little bit more underneath the pull-up bar instead of kind of out at an angle, gonna get way more tension on those push-ups. Super, super good for you. Okay, so the next one. This one can be a little bit tricky. I'm gonna demo this one for you, but a lot of people have a hard time with this one. I just thought I'd throw it in for funsies, see if you can get this one going. This is a chest fly, okay? Very, very challenging. I would suggest trying to stay up pretty high on this one. You don't want your feet right underneath the pull-up bar. It's gonna make it really tough. You wanna be out away from the pull-up bar. The further you are away from the bar, the anchor point, the easier the exercise is gonna be. So I'm pretty far away from it right now. We're gonna do a chest fly. So arms are straight out in front of me, palms turned in towards each other this time. So for the push-ups, we had the palms towards the ground. Now we're gonna turn your palms in. Straps are up over the shoulders, a little bit higher on this one, because we're gonna do a chest fly. Just like the reverse fly, the elbows are gonna stay straight. We're gonna open the arms up as you lean forward just slightly, and then squeeze the chest muscles as you bring the hands back together. Open your arms up, spread them out wide like you're a bird flying through the air, and then squeeze them back together. Now this one can be a little bit tricky, very, very, very delicate with this one, because there's a lot of tension that runs through the arms. You don't wanna pull your arms too far back, but this is a great chest exercise, doing chest flies on the TRX. Last one I'll show you in this position, tricep extensions. So for those of you who wanna build up the muscles in the back of your arms, ladies, you wanna have a little bit more definition in the back of the arms, fellas too, not singling anybody out. Tricep extensions on the TRX, such a great exercise. Let's get it set up. So again, this one can be a little tricky to get into the position, but here's how it's working. Again, everything in this position 2, everything that we're doing right now, I'm facing away from the anchor point. I'm not looking at it. My back is to the pull-up bar and my back is to the anchor point. I'm gonna walk out. Again, this one I want to be a little bit tall. I don't want to be pointing myself towards the ground too much with my feet really close to the anchor point. I want to step away from it a little bit. I want to be up a little taller. The taller I am, the easier the exercise is going to be. This is one you want to stay up pretty tall on. So I've got my arms straight out in front of me, but I'm stepping forward enough that the straps are kind of pulling my fists up over my head. My fists are up over my head level right now, out in front of me though. So it's not straight up over my head, it's not straight out in front of me. My hands are out at like a 45-degree angle above me. Palms facing away from me. I'm gonna be up on my toes. Just like with the bicep curls, I'm gonna keep my elbows up on a shelf as I bend my elbows and I lean forward, and my fists kind of come back towards the crown of my head, and then I straighten my arms again and push back up. I lean forward, hips, shoulders, chest, everything comes forward. Elbows stay up high, bend the elbows, and then straighten the elbows again as I push back. That straightening of the elbows is where we're working the triceps. Leaning forward, my fists come back toward the crown of my head, and then I straighten my arms out again, okay? This whole time, the strap does not go loose. The strap stays at a high amount of tension. I'm pushing weight into the straps. The only thing moving right now, I'm bending and straightening my elbows, and then I'm leaning forward with my chest, hips, shoulders, thighs, everything's kind of leaning forward at once to do this tricep move, okay? Take some time, practice the movement, check out the instructions over and over again, gonna be helpful for you. Last set, and then I'll show you a couple of quick bonus exercises, and then you guys will be in for today. You guys have this instructional video down. I'm gonna go all the way down to position 3, so full length on these straps. Okay, so the handles again, right at about calf level, just below the knees. This is about where you want it for position 3. Gonna show you a couple basic leg exercises. So we got some chest and some back exercises. We got biceps and triceps so far. Let's go ahead and work on the legs. Now this is a really cool thing. Again, if you are a beginner and you have a little bit of trouble with your squat movements, here's a great way to practice your squats and get some extra support. So here's a modification to make the exercise a little bit easier. I'm gonna set up exactly the same way that I did for my row, okay? So I'm facing towards the anchor point. I've got a strap in each hand, so my palms facing in towards each other, my elbows are right at my side, my feet are just a little bit in front of me, so my feet are directly underneath my hands. My feet are hip width, so about 12 inches between my feet. Now I'm gonna do a squat. So I'm gonna push my hips back. I'm gonna sit down in a little chair as I straighten my arms out and sit in this little chair. So now I'm at my low point. My knees are over top of my ankles. My buttocks is way towards the ground. My back is straight. My head is over my shoulders. My arms are straight. And now I'm gonna come back up by pushing my heels into the floor and pulling myself back up. So this is the coolest movement if you are struggling a little bit with squats. Why? Because you can share the stress between your arms and your legs. You can sit way back, lean into the straps, and this helps keep your knees right over top of your ankles. So if you have knee problems, this will help correct that because you're not putting a lot of torque and twist in the knee. The knees are staying right over top of the ankles. You're keeping a lot of the pressure out of your knees. And it's a very full body movement. Promise you that whether you're a pretty good athlete or just a beginner, you do 20 of these quick TRX squats and you're gonna start finding your heart rate driving up like crazy. You're gonna feel a lot of burn, you're gonna feel a lot of tension. There's so many modifications. Lunges, okay? We can do a reverse lunge. I'm set up in the exact same position that I was for my squats. I'm gonna shift my weight just slightly to my left foot. Gonna take my right foot and step it way back behind me, okay? I'm gonna drive my right knee down towards the floor so my front knee is up, my back knee is down, and then I'm gonna push my front foot into the floor and stand back up to my starting position. Shift to my right foot, step way back, bend my back knee down to the floor, and then stand back up. So again, I'm using the TRX strap as a way to help support my movement through this exercise. So many things that you guys can do with these, okay? Over 300 exercises, some very easy, some very difficult. I'm gonna show you a couple of quick bonus exercises and then you guys need to try these out. So I'm gonna go all the way up to elephant ears. Here's something that I want all of you to check out. If you've ever wanted to really step up your pull-up game, this is gonna be an exercise for you. I'm gonna show you this. So many people that I've worked with, like, they don't have the strength to do a full pull-up. Totally understandable. Pull-ups are hard, right? You're lifting your entire body weight off the ground. So using the TRX straps, you can do a modified pull-up that will allow you to take some of your body weight off. So I've got the elephant ear position, which ultimately just means I've got these handles somewhere around my chest level. You can adjust it up and down as needed. My arms are pretty long, so I try to keep them up a little higher. I'm going to go right underneath the anchor, okay? I'm standing right in front of it. I'm gonna hold on to the handles. I'm gonna sit my bottom right down on the floor, okay? So I'm sitting on the floor, my legs are straight out in front of me. I've got my arms directly over my head. My arms are straight, my heels are on the floor, my head is over my shoulders, shoulders over my hips. Now, with my palms facing forward or facing in towards each other, either way is fine, I'm gonna lift myself up on the straps and then sit back down. Lift myself up on the straps and sit back down. I'm keeping my heels on the floor, so as I'm doing these pull-ups, that's taking the weight of my legs, a lot of the weight of my legs, out of the equation. I'm able to do pull-ups in a seated position in order to help relieve some of that tension. And again, the further away you are from the anchor point, so instead of going right under it, I can kind of scoot back a little bit. This is gonna be a little bit easier. Sitting my hips down and pulling up. You can do a modified pull-up with the TRX, which is a great way to work your way up to doing full pull-ups. Other exercises. Let me show you guys something a little more advanced. You can do core exercises on the TRX, which are so good for you. Okay. Hopefully you guys have an idea that I am so geeked about this particular piece of equipment. So we haven't really messed with, underneath the handles, we have these kind of fabric loops, right? Everything we've done so far is just grabbing onto the handles. Totally fine. There are these fabric loops down here, which you can hook your feet into and allow you to do other exercises. So let me demonstrate. So I'm actually gonna turn and face away from the anchor point right now. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna kneel down on the ground and I'm gonna get my feet up into these loops. Okay, so it takes a little practice to get yourself into the right position. I am kneeling down, I'm on my hands and knees. I've got the tops of my feet, kind of top of my foots. Got the top of my feet hooked into the loops. And I'm gonna come up into a push-up position. okay? I'm in a suspended push-up position right now. My hands are on the floor, my chest is towards the floor, my knees are straight, and my feet are dangling in this push-up position, hooked into the straps. Now from here, I can do push-ups, I can do pikes, where I'm just gonna keep my knees, my arms straight. I'm gonna drive my hips up, bring my feet in and back down, hips up, drive my feet towards my chest and back down. I can do knee ups, drawing my knees into my chest, keeping my hips and shoulders nice and steady. There is so much that can be done with these TRX straps. Guys, I'm done chatting at you. I've probably overloaded you a little bit, but almost every gym is gonna have these. Almost everybody can benefit from them. Almost everybody is gonna get frustrated with them at first and ask a lot of questions. Don't be afraid of them. Figure out these TRX straps. Like, comment, share this video. Give me questions. Fill in some gaps, some information, because once you get these guys figured out, you can do just about anything with these TRX straps. That's it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please join the groups, subscribe to this channel. Make sure that you guys are taking advantage of every ounce of information I'm trying to put out there for you. Much more to come. I'm very excited for the projects that we're working on. And from Revision Training, let's change the way we look at it. You guys make it a strong day.